Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to my channel and to a Saturday Stash Dive. This is one I created this morning at the Redefine Creative Spring and Summer Stash Dive Bash. Bash, it's not a dive, it was bash. But I was diving, pulling out some older collections. And this one is All Girl from Echo Park, and it's a few years old. And those are my two girls, granddaughters. And I said, let me see your toothless mouth. And well, one did pretty good. The other one, you can see the bottom, her bottom teeth, but you can't see her missing top teeth. And so I just thought I'd do that picture. Since I had two printed out, so I could do one for each girl's album, I thought I might as well use one today at the Stash Bash. And a triangle. Yeah, at least it's one that goes right in the corner, so it's not near as bad as one that don't. However, I'm going to decide to add an extra little strip, so that will take me a minute to do that. I'm going to mat my photo, and I'm matting it with black first because I wanted the picture to kind of pop just a little bit. And then I'm going to add a light blue. It's a cardstock that was laying in the collection. And I'm pretty sure it's an Echo Park because I think it's two different colors on each side. I'm thinking it might be something else, but it was in there. So I thought, well, it's a scrap and I'm going to use it. And here's where I cut that extra little strip. I was looking at it, trying to decide, and I thought I want it to come out just a little farther. And it worked. I did have to cut it just a little bit and tuck it right up against that cut file. And we were supposed to use a cut file, so I did. This is the only cut file I owned. And Christina had sent it once in a kit, and I thought, well, I'm going to save it. I might need it for something. And see, I did. She said, pull one out. And I thought, well, I have no die cuts that big. And so I pulled this out. I knew right where it was at. I had it laying there. In fact, I pulled it out to use one day last week and taught myself out of it. Did something else instead, which is a good thing. Otherwise, my layout wouldn't look nothing like anybody else's. So yeah, it looks like everybody else's layout, maybe a little bit. And I want to thank whoever gifted me it again. I had loads of fun today. And I pretty much kept up with Christina. Pretty much. I got done once before she did. Well, sort of, kind of. So when I do that layout, I will tell you about that one. But I had to cut this extra strip just so I could stretch it all the way to the end and it wouldn't look like I cut it in the middle. So it's laying snug up against the cut file on each side of one of the little pieces of petal, I think it is. And it worked out pretty good. You really cannot tell it. I've looked at the layout a half dozen times and you really cannot tell it. So it turned out pretty good. And I'm not going to do a whole lot to it. She didn't have hers, is it backed? It wasn't backed. And I never could decide which parts I wanted to back because, it would have been good if I had backed it ahead of time. But I couldn't decide what colors or anything. I thought, I really need to wait and see what layout it goes on. But can you imagine how far behind I would have been if I tried to do that today? But hers had, well, I really don't know. I could not tell you what hers had. I looked at her when she was putting it on there and she cut it down some. And I glanced up as she was cutting. But I really can't tell you what it had on it. I was busy working. I was trying to get my layout done. And she put a large mat behind her photo. So mine isn't going to be super large because I wanted it to fit down in that corner there. And my cut file come out farther than hers, I think. And it fits really good there. It was like it was made to go there. I guessed. You see me guessing, but it worked out really good. And then she put layers and stuff behind there plus washi tape. All I'm putting is washi tape. And well, a couple other things are going to go on there, but as far as kind of sort of, it's not really a layer on mine. It's just along the edges. And I use a really pretty one that had black flowers on it. And I'm kind of thinking I might have got that from Felicity Jane, and I must have used it and didn't put it back. Because as soon as I seen it, I thought, oh, that should have been over there in that iris container. But I keep all the rest of my washi tape. The ones I like the least are in a drawer right next to me. And y'all are saying, why would you have them so handy? It's because I use them for other things. And then the rest are in a container, and it was in that container. And I wanted pink, and I was surprised how little pink I had. But I did find this one with the little gingham check on it. So I have the black and I kind of sort of white. It's clear, but kind of sort of white. And then the gingham. And I think they looked pretty good going on there. I just hope they stick, because you know how washi tape is. Sometimes it sticks way too good and then tears up when you try to move it or do anything with it. And then other times it don't stick at all. But, you know, this has been like all day and it hasn't moved and it looks pretty good. So maybe it's going to stick. I pulled out one of those rosettes. I'm thinking it's saying pinwheels or something like that on the packaging. It says something different from what I would have called it. And it was for a baby one. So I pulled off the little round thing that was for a baby, and I looked through several things trying to decide what to put in there. And I finally decided the brad, because they're sticky brads, and it's a pink flower, so it went there in the center. And then I pulled the foam off the back because I decided it is tall enough without it. And I just used liquid glue to put it down in the center of my cut file. And that's why that dish is sitting on there, trying to get it to dry and stay in place. I wanted to add some to the layers, like, she added to hers. And since I hadn't thought ahead, I winged it. Yeah, I didn't make me a kit to use for the whole time or separate ones. Usually I do. But I've been busy doing other stuff because I kind of got behind. I'm trying to catch up. And yeah, I winged it and I did pretty good. Like I said, I kept up really good. Maybe even better than when I fix the kit and go down the list and add everything to it and have the pictures chosen. I just brought me a stack of pictures over there and winged it. I was pretty tickled that it worked. I wasn't sure. Um, I decided to bring a little bit of the white down from the cut file, since it is pretty big and dominant up there. And so I started to put more and I punched out more, but I decided just to put 3 there instead. And my layout is done. That was so quick. It was probably I think 40 minutes is what she said, and which is amazing for me to do a layout in 40 minutes. But if you leave a comment down there below, I'll get back with you. If you like the video and hit thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And if you are not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those you already are, thank you so much. Have a happy scrappy week. Bye.